بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
The next thing, we'll try to understand the different types of wireless networks we have. So mainly there are 4 different types of wireless networks. Now this is same like the normal networks what we discussed, like we have LAN, interconnecting your devices within the same geographical location or same building. So here we are using wireless, so we call it as a wireless LAN. Similar way, personal area network where you are connecting your personal devices via Bluetooth, and again metropolitan area network with the help of wireless. If you are connecting the sites within your city limits, we can say. And again, wide area network where you are connecting your sites probably long distance, so connecting sites between the different states or different cities and different countries. And that's what we call as WAN. So in terms of the terminology, already the basic, the LAN, WAN, PAN. So I'll just try to give an overview with wireless how it is going to be different. So starting with the wireless LAN here, starting with wireless LAN. Now, the LAN is like if you're trying to connect the devices within the building, within the office building or the campus or within the home. You can take a simple example of your home where you have your wireless access point and you're trying to connect your laptop and your mobile devices or an iPad. So that is one simple example of your small wireless LAN. Now it can go bigger depending upon the size of the network. So mostly it is restricted to within the building or within the campus in general. And again, if you're using the wireless, as a medium to connect, probably the wireless communication, then we call it as a wireless local area network. The same thing as your normal LAN. And one access point, generally the coverage area, it again differs depending upon the different models you are using, the standards or the models. On the average, the average coverage area of a specific access point will be around 100 meters. So as long as you are within this limit, you can get a signal and you can be a part of the network, and you can access the network resources. Again, as I said, you can, as long as you're within the coverage area, you can move around. So it provides you the mobility option. All the wireless connections provide you the mobility, but we need to make sure that we are within the coverage area of that particular signal from that particular device. And of course, it do provide some high-speed communication and like around minimum of 2 Mbps to 54 Mbps, or even more like 400 Mbps to 1.3 gig. Again, depends upon the different standards we use in our wireless devices. Again, most of the wireless devices will be referred as a brand name called Wi-Fi. Like if you take an example here, when you just go to your laptop and when you click on that wireless signal, you will find some names. These are the wireless signals what you can see in my home network here, and you can see this is the network where I'm connected, and these are my neighbor wireless connections from where I can connect. So if I know the password, I can still connect to that. Now when you talk about wireless PAN, now PAN, again, the personal area network where you are connecting your devices within the small limit, like around 30 feet or around 10 meters. So with the help of PAN, we are connecting your electronic devices like the specific computers, or it can be like smartphones, or personal digital assistants, or any keyboard, mouse. Also, you can use like you will find wireless keyboard and mouse with the help of Bluetooth, as well as printers. Most of the new printers, they do have a wireless connection where you can connect to a Wi-Fi or to the Bluetooth connections. So most of this personal area network, they use something called Bluetooth technology, just like your wireless headset, the same thing. Earlier, we used to have something like infrared. They are not really used nowadays, but that was one of the first where you can have a point-to-point wireless connection between the two devices. And you'll be using still, some kind of wireless LAN infrastructure to connect these devices. Like you can connect your printer to the Wi-Fi. So that can be again considered as some kind of personal area network where you're connecting your electronic devices, your personal devices as a part of one network to exchange the data. Now the third kind is your metropolitan area network, wireless. Now, with metropolitan area networks, we are going to connect the multiple sites within the city limits. Like you have different buildings in your city. Like you can take an example, you have your head office, and then this head office is again connecting to your branch offices. Or you can take a simple example of your banking side where you have different branches in your city. And maybe if you have another factory, if you take any kind of other industries, you have a factory on the outskirts of the city which is to be connected to your head office. Now, now mostly this is going to connect multiple LANs with the help of wireless. One of the common example is WiMAX, that is one kind of metropolitan wireless metropolitan area network. The WiMAX, which is commonly used, and it uses some kind of licensed band. Now, license means to this particular signals, in order to connect or to generate this radio frequency signal, we need to get the license from the local telecommunication authority. But whereas if you're using the wireless LAN, whatever we use in our home network, that is unlicensed, means you don't need to purchase the license to use that particular option. So we'll be talking more on this licensed and unlicensed frequencies a little bit more later. Now again, this can be an alternative for your cable or the DSL broadband connections. So you can still use this alternative to the cable connections for providing the broadband internet access within the city limits. So that is again one more option. Or it can be a private connection which is connecting between your sites, like your private WAN connection using the wireless metropolitan network or WiMAX technology. And approximately the distance it can cover in between 50 to 90 kilometers, and the transfer speed can be up to around 70 Mbps. That's something it can support. Now, likewise, we do have WAN, wide area network. Again, when you talk about wide area network, is nothing but the network which is being built over the large areas or connecting multiple sites, probably between the cities or between the countries, covering a large area. And typically they will be using some kind of satellites and the antennas on the top of the building to provide the connectivity. So some of the simple examples to understand this, you can take any of your mobile technologies like 2G, 3G or 4G. These are all your data transmission or mobile broadband technologies. So we also call them as mobile broadband, where we are getting a broadband internet connection or high-speed data transfer rates based on the wireless communications. And again, it can be a broadband. Again, it can be a private network. So you can still have your own company sites connected with the help of some kind of mesh topology. We call it as a MANET, where you can connect within your company infrastructure, like your private network can also be built with the help of wireless WAN. So the types of networks remains the same, because if you get into the basics, probably the type of the network remains the same. Whether it is a LAN, PAN, the concept remains the same. The way you connect is going to be slightly different when you compare with your wide infrastructure.